protecting Jamaica?
Yes, neighbor, I'm still there in our class.
Bring this home for us and close us out protecting. I'm speechless.
You see, just what we're representing here, neighbor, is what I insist that the party needs to represent. There needs to be a structure in place.
The listeners are in tears.
Yes.
They're crying.
There needs to be a structure in place where the party lead this charge. Neighbor, it is only those who would have lived through periods like the 70s, 80s and seen the difference, even the 60s today, who shares the story. And the truth is, many of these old people, they're not on social media. And even if them get them grand picnic, they hook them up, they use the media. They don't know how to manipulate it. So there's still some limitations there.
Yeah.
The party needs to realize that a wide cross-section of Jamaica, I will put it about maybe 60, 65, 70% of Jamaicans, which is by and large those that are below the age of, say, 55, that don't understand these things. And we don't have a society where the history of the politics is discussed in media. The media, by and large, especially the conglomerate that sometimes we love to size up, they have taken a one-sided interest in the politics. They seem to be like the dog barking for its meal nowadays. And so we cannot leave it to those who should be the vanguard of democracy who have faltered by the wayside. Because media, except for one media house in Jamaica now, is not credible anymore. And with that in perspective, we have to understand that the party has to understand that it has to lead the charge in having forums that don't just talk about what Andrew is doing. Because notice when the PMP talk, they're talking about some things that they would have probably done in an illusion. And then young people who listens to them now say, yes, man, you hear the party say them do this and them do that. Listen to Perry when him come up. Him cannot pinpoint anything. Him can't tell you where to go look for it. But he say, Michael Malley do so and so. And I don't believe that the Jamaica Labour Party have taken it as something important to put the truth out there, to counter the historical lies, the revised version that the PMP have always presented. And so what Chaps has presented just now is very important and should be instructive enough for those who are here listening to understand that the very foundation that established Jamaica, the PMP, had nothing to do with it. The People's National Party had nothing to do with the very foundation that established the Jamaica we have today.
Does it not cause a bit of consternation, pain protecting to realize that Singapore did it and we are still struggling tonight with our people in shelter and our MPs parading them in camera screen, protecting Jamaica?
I am a lover of Lee Kuan Yew.
Yes.
And even though his presentations and his lectures are so lengthy, I find myself making the time to listen to his presentation because they are very educational, very instructive.
Yes.
And I feel proud to know that Lee Kuan Yew, in his effort to develop Singapore, having separated itself from Malaysia in 1965, and took up this mission to create its own reality and its own sustenance. It makes me feel good to know that Lee Kuan Yew have modeled some aspects of Singapore's development of the very plans that Edward Seaga had for Jamaica's development. And every time when I speak, and especially when the conversation goes down this road, I mention Singapore because of this. And within a decade, having visited Jamaica with the World Bank, what we now call the World Bank, with some other countries that were in their infantry stage of development, and having observed the pace of Jamaica's development, especially growing at 18%, over 18% at a particular time, and having returned to Jamaica within the same decade when Michael Manley was now in power, and I've seen how quickly Jamaica fell off that wagon. Lee Kuan Yew said it's a shame that the people of Jamaica allowed somebody who was good with words. It's shameful how the very citizen allowed this blinking man to railroad Jamaica's progress by promising that he was going to now hand out the spoils that was worked so diligently to put in the basket. The people of Jamaica must reject the PMP, but we have a duty to teach them why they should reject the PMP. A lot of them who listens to us, neighbor, only listen to what we're saying now. And unless we touch a little part of the history here and a little part of the history there, they do not know. The Jamaica Labour Party needs to lead the charge in re-educating the people of Jamaica, re-engineering the very mind that they say that they are fighting to secure. Because the People's National Party have short-wired the brains of the Jamaican people. Because had the Jamaican people been thinking straight, they would never even give one vote to the People's National Party. Not even one vote the PMP would have get. Because they have done nothing to deserve anybody go dip them hand in no ink for them. And so, neighbor, to continue where Chaps left off, we must understand that it's a mighty task we have here, neighbor. It's a long road ahead. We are making some inroads because it is going to take those who we speak to then speak with their other family members who wouldn't be so inclined to even listen to us in order to begin to have a shift in this situation. But until then, when the shift should occur, the Jamaica Labour Party should really consider leading the charge in educating people that it was the JLP that established the very foundation that Jamaica stands on today. If we talk about tourism, it's Jamaica Labour Party. We talk about the financial sector, which is independent. I remember for about 2 or 3 years straight, Jamaica led the world with its stock exchange. It is the Jamaica Labour Party that established that. And even when the Jamaica Labour Party again tried to establish the junior stock exchange and did, the People's National Party knock it out and repeal the bill. Because they do not know the value of having a system that works. They don't know the value of having a system that is resource. It takes cash to care. And if you're not earning it, then don't blink and spend it. All the People's National Party care about is spending. And when them pocket fat, and you start to see the ribs of the Jamaican people being exposed, then you hear them come with some stopgap measure. And then you hear everybody, yes, hooray, we have part. What is part? You have made the people poor. So creating an avenue so that they can get little food. What is that to hooray about? Create a system where the people can go look them own meal and sustain themselves. What the hell is wrong with us people? And so, neighbor, we have a task ahead. And we must teach the history. We must not just come and talk about what Andrew is doing. We need to link it and show the people that what Andrew is doing have always been the mantra and the hallmark of the Jamaica Labour Party to develop Jamaica and to create a fairer, more balanced society for its people. Why do you believe Bustamante was locked up almost 2 dozen times? Why? He was in the streets championing the cause for poor people. He was championing equal pay for women. He was championing a livable wage for those who were working so that them can live. He was championing that the colonial government share up the land and give the people so that they can go farm. Why do you believe he get licked down and go to jail? Because he was creating uprising in the society. Because he taught the people how to demand what is good for them. How dare you tell me that the PMP this and the PMP that? The PMP is of no good to Jamaica, and I will not give them no props.